How's it going? My name is William, and this is my so-called life.
Get the most fun out of life, out of being a mother and wife, with new fashion excitement that's all created by you. On your new Touch and Sew
Sewing machine by Singer.
Touch and Sew.
Another first from Singer.
Be the girl with the golden touch on your new Singer Golden Touch and Sew machine. Dozens of exclusive features, like this new built-in needle threader for the golden slant needle, and the push-button bobbin that winds right in the machine. What a wonderful new feeling. You can do all three kinds of sewing: straight, zigzag, and chain stitch.
Touch and Sew, the push-button bobbin way.
Come sew on one at your Singer Center. Choose from 5 Touch and Sew models from $149.95.
What's new for tomorrow
Is at Singer today.
They're just touching Touchtronic memory machines.
Incredible.
I'm Polly Bergen. Only Singer makes machines this easy to use. Touch. The memory remembers your stitch pattern instantly. Touchtronic speed control remembers to adjust your fabric thickness.
What about basting?
Touch. Great. You can forget about your sewing machine and concentrate on sewing. The Touchtronic memory machine family. Come take a test, Touch.
How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I hope everyone's doing well and you are not hearing things. I've kind of lost my voice, but the show must go on. Tonight, I'm going to go off again with my Mimi G pattern. I had all kinds of plans with this particular pattern, but I decided to make a code out of it because I absolutely love my Mimi G R11 407 pattern, and it gives me a good base. Also, I finally got my serger going. Hey, Mona, hello. Great to see you. If I sound extra croaky, I lost my voice. I'm actually excited because tonight I'm going to use a couple of the machines that I purchased in Las Vegas. So, excuse me. All three machines work. I was kind of iffy about the serger, but as usual, it was me. It was me. It was definitely me. But before we get to any of the festivities, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. Awesome. Let me remove this real quick. I think I had a little bit too much fun on my vacation and my voice just decided to disappear, but that's okay. I'm actually excited. I got my serger going and I'm kind of shocked because it was one thing that I was completely missing. The threads were not in the they were not in the tension discs at all. That's why I was getting these crazy results, because the threads were literally not going through the tension discs. The second I put the threads in the tension disc, the machine started working perfectly. So with my croaky, awful voice, I'm going to clear my desk. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to line this coat with, but I have a few ideas. I moved all of my oopsies out of this room because the pile was growing, and I'm deciding to completely clean out my closet because I'm going to incorporate my fabric and everything else that I have. Yay! Hello. I've lost my voice. Honey helps the throat. I've been drinking warm liquid all day, and it's just kind of coming and going. Oh. But I'm not going to go too long tonight, and then I'm going to rest my voice for the next week after this one. Yay, sorry about the froggy voice. It happens. You know, it happens with me a lot because I burn the candle on both ends often. And so it happens. Oh, I call it the plight of a loudmouth. Yay! Hello. I'm a real Somerican. So for the rights of every man, I'm a real Somerican. So for what's right. So for your life. Hold on, I forgot to pump my fist while I was reading that. How's it going, Gilroy? Hello. Shep is going around in Texas. Yikes. Do you know, I kind of started watching the news, and not necessarily in California, but more around the country. There's all kinds of stuff going around. It's scary. Yeah, great to see you, Gilroy. Great to see you. Yay, hello. So, like I said, when I had to laugh at myself because the second I figured out that the threads were not on the tension discs, I realized it was me. It was me. I'm the reason why the serger wasn't sewing in the first place. But I figured it out. Now I just have to find the proper cord and hope it's plugged in. Perfect. It is plugged in. Perfect. Okay. I had a sore throat this week. Not sickness though. I got on a big research kick and didn't drink anything for a day. I really burnt the candle on both ends last week, and I haven't been sleeping at all. So I need a vacation from my vacation. I don't know if that makes sense. And I've replaced the light above my head. So if I look extra bright this evening, it's because my box light, I noticed it getting more and more dim. And sometimes I don't know what kind of bulb to put in my box light anymore at all. So the color is going to be off until I figure out something that's a little bit better than this. Whoa. But I'm going to throw a test piece through this just to show you how much this machine works. And again, I can't believe that I was able to purchase this machine. Oh no, Kilroy, I got on kicks like that and forgot life, and then I have regrets. I try not to self-diagnose. Recently I had to tell myself that because something will happen and I get online and then all of a sudden you have all kinds of things that you've never even heard of. Oh, right. Perfect. All right, let me switch my angle real quick. Like I said, I'm actually really shocked that I was able to buy a serger in Las Vegas and a working one. I'm actually still kind of shocked that I was able to get a. And it's funny because my brother, I'm pointing at it like you could see it. My brother decided to stop working. I still have no idea what happened to it. And I've ordered a lot of cords from Amazon, and I have yet to be duped at all, ever. Every single cord that I've ever ordered from Amazon has been spot on. If you know the model of your machine, they probably have a replica cord for it. Perfect. Perfect. And for a machine from the 90s, it throws down the perfect stitch. I'm so happy I was able to figure this thing out. You have as many devices going as machines. Oh, what happened? What happened? I do. His electric meter is filing for a restraining order. Where is my keyboard? The strangest thing just happened. I wonder what movie is in the oh, that's so funny. My computer decided to start playing Megan. That's right, I did buy that movie. That was weird. That was weird. He likes looking at himself. I do. Yay! Hello, Joy. Great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Do you know what it is? I am the over-ambitious son of an electrical engineer. So if I can plug it in and it doesn't, set out sparks, it works. I am an electrician's nightmare, though. Yeah, hello. He just needs to be watching 17 different movies at once. Do you know what's funny? In a weird way, I do that sometimes. Perfect. That's better. I'm just one of those people whose attention span is all over the place. And I've said this before, my work, every single phone I have, my work purchases it for me. So every time they get a new model or a new plan, I get a new phone. You do not sound too well. Are you okay? I am. I lost my voice. I think it's from burning the candle on both ends. I had way too much fun in Vegas. I haven't been sleeping. But because of my insomnia, I was able to figure out this serger. And I'm excited because I have a working serger again. I still have no idea what happened to my brother machine. But I'm excited. The Singer Ultralock is firing on all cylinders, and I got it going. I'm excited. I am absolutely excited. Yay! Hello, hello, hello. I'm a I'm a technology kind of guy. I don't know what to say about all my screens in here. I do. You know what? I in this room is like my CIC. It's my control room. I have security cameras. I have all kinds of stuff in here. All right. So now that my serger is going, I'm gonna finish lining my coat. I haven't decided what I'm gonna line my coat with yet because I have too many options. I have been. And because my son is all like weirdly holistic right now, I have all kinds of teas and all kinds of things in my house. So I'm prepared. Are you afraid of the boogeyman? No, but now I have that song stuck in my head. I'm the boogeyman. I'm the. All right. Do you know that camera? Like, it keeps on just wanting to go like this, so I just let it. It slowly leans to the right. It's terrible. Oh, excuse me. Do you know what? Where I live, everyone has security cameras, and it's kind of funny because of how I grew up. I grew up like 20 years ahead of the time. I always grew up with security cameras or closed circuit cameras in my house. So I just kind of got used to being able to walk into a room and look outside without people being able to see me. So wherever I've lived, I've always put up security cameras. It's just kind of a thing. Who can be afraid of the boogeyman when you have an eagle head watching over you? If anyone did break in, I would just grab that thing and sit on the couch and be like, welcome. And they'd run out. They would run out the second I put the eagle head on. Hey, Mo, how's it going? How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Yay. Hello, hello. All right. So, this is me starting another over ambitious project. And I got a new chair. The old chair already broke. It's me. Like the serger, like my chair. I bought a really cheap chair. And what happens is I lean back and I do this while I'm sitting here and I break the spring. They don't make chairs like they used to. So this chair is I want to say 35 years old. It's something crazy. I pulled this from the rafters at my job. I cleaned it off, and this old chair is doing better than this extremely old chair is doing better than anything I've ever brought in this room. Yay! It's Joy. You know what? I think the chairs are made terribly, but also it's a combination of me. Like, I'm the definition of moving around all the time. How's it going, Alibaba? Great to see you. Great to see you. He's got a good reason to be afraid. Big So he probably took a hit out on him. Can't be too careful. They are. They want me to stop saying singer so many times. I'm kidding. They still made chairs like they used to. You just can't be a cheap bastard buying Amazon junk. You know what it is? Is I go to the Goodwill. I gave up on buying chairs because we all know my chair saga. I went to Office Max in the beginning of my YouTube career and I walked in. I was like, I want a YouTuber chair. And so I bought a chair. It lasted me 3 years. And then I went to the same store. I bought another office chair. It lasted me a month. And since that chair, I've gone through like 6 or 7 chairs. It's drama. It is just chair drama here in the house of Zoe. Well, I sit in mine most of the day and I'm heavier than you. So they're probably better made in Canada than they are in America. But I pulled this chair out from the rafters at my job, so I'm excited. It's a old office chair ready to go. And the entire base is metal, so it's perfect. So if you're wondering, I have a new chair, I do. And Joy, you're right. I don't, at this point, it's me. I have no idea what's going on with my chair issues. Make sure I have a pin cushion. All right. Perfect. I hope everybody is having a lovely Memorial Day. For anyone who celebrates it, I want to thank anyone who has served in the military, U.S. or otherwise. I absolutely thank you. I think it's important to point out because I come from a military family. I think my cousins and I are the only people to not serve since the Civil War. So every male in my family and almost every other female in my family has served. So I thank everyone for their service. I don't understand how people buy chairs off the internet. I have to test them out in person. I can't find chairs. I pull out a milk crate. Well, my thing is after I broke that chair, I started going to the Goodwill because I saw those same chairs going for $9, $10. But let's be real, they're at the Goodwill for a reason because somebody upgraded, they got a better chair because they've depleted the spring on that chair. So I destroy chairs. And at this point, I don't even know what it is. The one, excuse me, the Office Max one that I purchased was a complete piece of junk. I paid $110 for something that the arm broke within, I don't know, a month and a half. I was so mad. My dad and grandpa served. I knew from that day I wasn't military material, so I did it. I'm not, man. I was told by all of them. They're like, do not join the military. You're really terrible at taking instruction. And sergers. Military surplus chairs and government are okay most of the time. Do you know what's really funny? Like, I pulled this from the rafters at my job, and I kind of considered it of that same realm. This has just been sitting around, and they got rid of it because the 80s were over. I asked, I was like, can I have the chair? And they're like, go ahead. The 80s are way over. You know, most military surplus stores have closed around here. There's just not a market, and it's the strangest thing. It's the strangest thing because those stores were thriving out here for the longest time. And I have to drive all like clear to Hollywood to go to a real Army surplus store. There's one in Hollywood that's been there forever. I believe it's on Santa Monica Boulevard, and it is a warehouse. And they have stuff from all kinds of military stuff from around the world. I'm making a coat with the that couch material. Let me take this pattern off and I'll show you. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with this couch material, so I'm going full overcoat. Full overcoat. And I love this putrid green. I love it. And I'm still in my WKRP in Cincinnati phase. So a good overcoat is just, it's going to be par for course. I don't know if I'm going to go as crazy with the collar as I did last time, but we'll see how much material I have. I got lucky. I measured this, and the funny thing is, I bought this in a huge bundle of material, not knowing how big it was. So this is exactly coat size. So I got lucky. Did you match the stripes? Okay, so I cut everything in the same direction. If I match the stripes or not, well, we'll see. But I did cut everything in the same direction. Oh. Oh, right. WKRP was such a great show. You know, I say this all the time. Like, I am the king of tuning out. I'm not necessarily the most political guy. The more and more I delve into the manosphere and all these things, there's a lot of issues I really do not care about. I believe people, live and let free or whatever the saying is. So I love watching these old shows. I'm watching WKRP in Cincinnati right now. The 1970s version of Battlestar Galactica. I had seen a couple episodes, but I'd never watched it all the way through. I love the show. The remake, I absolutely loved the remake of Battlestar Galactica, but watching the original, I have completely fallen in love with the show again. So this is me tuning out. And I talked about the turkey episode so much, I had to buy WKRP in Cincinnati because the turkey drop episode is hilarious when he's like, I thought turkeys could fly. Just great TV. Just good TV. And for some strange reason, I love the 1970s era of television. But I think because when I was a kid, those were the reruns on television. And so I fell in love with all kinds of shows. When I was still political, the only thing it did for me was stress me out over shit I had no control over. Exactly. Do you know what's so funny? Today, my biggest beef was I couldn't play my Sega as much as I used to. So I moved my Sega over here. So I was surging and playing my Sega Genesis at the same time. And it's less stress. Life is stressful enough than inviting things into your life. And I'm not saying that I don't watch certain things that, I try to stay informed, but I try not to let it consume me. Speaking of the 70s shows, Fred Sanford of Sewing Machines had a nice look at box opening. Oh, it's a new video. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. For some reason, I do not get his notifications. I know we all sing this song, but I've hit the bell icon and everything. And it always makes me mad when people tell me oh, Fred Sanford has a new video, because I've been subscribed to Fred Sanford as long as I've been on YouTube, because that's what I was going to call myself, was Fred Sanford Sewing Machines. And then I saw there was a channel that said it was called Fred Sanford Sewing Machines, and I couldn't believe it. But I've been subscribed to Fred Sanford as long as I've been on YouTube. And like I always say, watching Fred Sanford reminds me that I do not have 10,000 sewing machines. I'm sure he doesn't have 10,000, but he's close. He's close. And I'm saying that in my head. I have this vision of me 15 years from now with my glasses on, walking through a warehouse all right, come and look at all my fiddle top machines. Look at this, look at that. So I'm eventually going to morph into Fred Sanford. Ah, right. You only have 9,500. I'm not the problem. You're the problem. Yes, I do have 9,500 sewing machines. I want to go to see Fred Sanford's place so bad. I have to go. Seriously, we should all take a road trip and just rent out a hotel wherever he lives in Michigan. The town would love us. We would revitalize their entire economy for a year if we showed up. Oh, I would love to go there. Do you know there are certain machines that I didn't even know existed until I started watching his channel. I absolutely love Fred Sanford's channel. I'm not even mad that he took the name that I wanted my channel to be. I'm not even mad because I discovered a human who collects more sewing machines than I do. And you're right, Kilroy. Oh. People think I'm kidding when I'm like, man, in the rafters, I have 3 years of scraps and I have 5 years of sewing machine boxes above my head. And recently I was getting work done in my house and I told them, like, look, I have a sewing machine problem. And we were all kind of ha 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 laughing because it's someone I worked with, but they've never come to my house. And so I wanted to give them a crash course in hoarding. And this person was an electrician, and I needed professional help in that sense. And when they went in my rafters and they're like, "You're not kidding, are you?" My rafters are filled with sewing machine boxes. Oh, there's my phone. I was wondering where my phone went. You'd help a town out, that's for sure. The biggest ham radio convention in the world is in a suburb of Ohio. Only 35,000 attendees, but it brings $100 million into the local economy every year. I love stories like that. I love stories like that. That's like Sturgis. How many people live in Sturgis? I need to turn up my Alexa. How many people live in Sturgis and how many people go there and spend money every year and make that town rich? Alexa, how many people live in Sturgis?
According to the 2020 U.S. Census, the population of Sturgis is 7,020 people, which is a 6.1% increase over the 2010 U.S. Census.
7,000 people live there, and hundreds of thousands of bikers come there every year. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome, Kilroy. But we should definitely do that. I want to you know what's funny? I watch Fred Sanford and I take notes because in a lot of ways he should open up a museum because he has real museum pieces. I am the Indiana Jones of sewing machines. That should be in a museum. That's something that I would do. I would open up a museum so people could see what you have and gain a love for it. Do you know when I was a kid, I absolutely love art. And the reason why I love art is because every school I went to, my parents, even my church would take us to museums and they would take us to art shows and things. And so, I gained a love for it. 700,000 bikers go to Sturgis every year. Imagine the population of your town multiplying by 100. Wow. See, that's a lot of people going. That's a lot of people. Is it really that many people? That's crazy. That's crazy. Ugh. All right. Finally to the point where we can line this thing. It's getting hot in here. So the vest is going to have to come off. Oh man. I have lining right here. Perfect. Yeah. And apparently, $250,000 worth of bikes are stolen at Sturgis every year. Oh man, don't even get me started. You know what's funny? I went there in 2011. I don't even know. I have to look. Had a great time and came home. But I can totally see why people's bikes get stolen. It's because they think they're tough guys and they want to go hang out with the real deal bikers, and they're some of the scariest human beings you've ever seen in your entire life. So I could totally see that. That's a fun fact, Gilroy. I love facts like that. Oh, right. Do you know, every time I look at my 1980s chair, it brings me back to a different era because I remember when those chairs used to line a conference room. So it's funny to see one in here. Perfect. 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 I need to get some practical weights in here. That's the one thing I keep on forgetting to do. But I need something that's not gaudy. In this room, that's kind of impossible. I really couldn't decide what to do with this. So my default is to always make a coat because that is what I love to do. And I really want to test out my new serger. So this is definitely going to be a test run for my new serger. You know we've had really non-stereotypical weather this year. It's been really mild. And it's funny because it's been spring and I'm not complaining because the weather is perfect every single day. But when I was in Vegas, it reminded me what real desert weather, like when I was standing out there filming that one piece, it was like 87 and going up, and it was in the morning. Thank you, Alibaba. Thank you. That fabric does scream make a coat. And again, I think it's because I've been watching WKRP in Cincinnati. Um, I'm bringing back the big jacket, the collar, and I love how everyone's wearing bell bottoms. Everyone is wearing bell bottoms or something bell bottom adjacent. And I know television doesn't reflect everyday life, but it's just a fun way to look back in the 70s. It's just a fun way to look back. And the style, the styles were so crazy. How they dressed Venus Flytrap. He comes walking in a full golf suit, and like his outfits are from outer space. Yeah, that's a 70s coat material for sure. I love these guys. There's a man and his son, and they're these vendors at the San Fernando Valley Swap Meet. They are so good to me. They are so kind. And I thought only his son was giving me price breaks, but every time I deal with the father, he gives me even more price breaks. Because every time I come back, I buy even more and even more fabric, you know. But they have all I I don't want to be mean and be like, hey, where do you get this stuff? But I need to find out where they go because they buy rolls and just rolls of fabric. But then I don't want to get into the world of being a bidder. I've fell into the world of buying lockers, and it's a competitive business. You can make a lot of money doing it, but it's extremely competitive. Ugh. And I'm over it. But I kind of want to start greedy son bad. But well, no, the kid, he probably doesn't have the authorization to give me as big a price break as Pops. And maybe the money I'm giving him goes straight to him. And I don't blame him. There was one time he didn't have change. I told him to keep it. He was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I'm like, "Oh, no big deal, man." So maybe the money goes straight to his pocket. He kind of acts like it. And I'm okay with a young entrepreneur trying to make money. I'm okay with it. As long as he's giving me real price breaks. I walked over just to this one vendor and purchased like 40 something yards of fabric and paid like $17 or some crazy amount. They aren't getting it at locker auctions, wholesale auctions, but for fabric clearouts and end of production might need big equipment just to move some of it. I may or may not have all of that stuff. If I'm showing up with a forklift, is that next level? If you're showing up with a forklift on the back of a truck to buy fabric, that's I guess that's extremely serious. 6 or 7 years ago when I bought that giant bale of denim, they had to put it in the back of my truck with a forklift. It took me years to chop through all that denim, but I have a ton of denim stuff. No, seriously, you do need a forklift. Even when like I said, "Oh, I'll take a half a bale of denim," the guys looked around. They were like, "Does this guy know what half a bale is?" And I didn't know at the time. And I've checked, and that place still exists in Hollywood. They sell denim. It's $2 a pound, or you can buy it by the bale. When I finally get my warehouse, that'll be like one of my first projects. And I don't know if it's because I watch way too much YouTube, but I want to purchase one of those Amazon overstock um things. But I think it's because I watch way too many commercials on YouTube. Because sometimes I'll be sitting here sewing and I'm just like, oh, let the commercial play. And then 30 minutes later, I want to buy a bale off of Amazon. That's some serious fabric if you need a forklift. And for half a bale, Mona, it took me 4 years to hack through that pile. And it was really sad actually, like because it was during the pandemic. When I got to the end of the pile, I was like, oh man, that's actually really sad because it took me 4 years to get through that entire thing. And a long time ago, somebody who was like trying to be they were trying to be facetious to me, and they were like, you're gonna run out of denim someday. I'm gonna tell you, it's been 5 years. I still have not run out of denim. Ugh. But I'm the kind of person where I'm purchasing this fabric from these lovely people, but I'm the kind of person who's like, where are you guys getting this from? Where is this coming from? Because, but they would be so mad if they went to their auction and they saw me and they're like, uh-oh. Perfect. But I think it's time to I've never found any fabric in a locker, but I kind of want to get back to the wholesaling world again. But it's a hassle because you have to have space. And I used to have a lot more space than I do now. Perfect. I'm trying to think. That place in Hollywood still exists, but it's but there's a lot of wholesalers now. The wholesale district in LA is kind of it's kind of disappeared, and it's actually really sad because it used to be a thriving industry, but it's just completely disappeared. But throughout Los Angeles, there are still all kinds of weird wholesalers. My eyelids are falling down. Have a great night, Butterfly. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll be back at it when my voice is better. Perfect. That is perfect. You know, it's still weird to me that it's not hot here. Have a great night, Butterfly. Have a great night. It's been rainy. We've had the most mild summer that, well, this is the begin. This week will be the beginning of summer here because school's going to be getting out. There's going to be graduations everywhere. But usually it's in the 90s where I live. Usually it's like 91, 92, and people are already complaining. Usually I would be in full cutoffs. I'm actually really surprised. I went and pulled out most of my cutoff shirts, but it's been really mild where it's been 60s and 70s. I get it, Alibaba. I totally get it. But it's just strange to me. And like I said, when I was in Vegas, it reminded me that like it's usually extremely hot here. So I'm bracing for this summer because I have a bad feeling it's going to be like 100 something every day. All right, I'm going to line the side pieces first. Well, actually, no, these are the front panels. I'm going to line these both first. Earlier, I was streaming with Rashawn on Critically Drinking. And the funny thing is, I always get every single song that I listen to stuck in my head. And today had some extraordinarily strange songs. Now I feel like, oh, another oops. It's been high 70s to 80s around here. It's just eerie to me because I'm a desert dweller. I look forward to the hot time of year because it's the one time of year I do not get sick. I love it when it's extremely hot, but of course, I'm in my hometown. I'm from here, so I'm used to extremely hot weather. But it's just strange to me that it hasn't been like unreal hot. It's just weird. You know what? Alibaba. All the time, I walk in my house with a full steam. I walk in my house, I stand in my hallway, and I'm like, I can't remember why I walked in here. That is my full Mr. Magoo moment. I actually do that all the time where I'm like, even today, when I had to replace the light bulb for my box light, I walked in my kitchen and I'm like, uh-oh, I completely forgot the reason why I walked in here. And it wasn't until I walked back out here and I saw the box light open and I was like, oh yeah, I had a purpose. I had a purpose of walking in the kitchen. So don't feel bad. I pull Mr. Magoo moments all the time. I showed my age. I showed my age today on the stream because I'm not a TikToker. I'm not. I am not a TikTok person. We've had this conversation 100 times. Maybe I'm from the Preozoic era. Maybe I'm a time traveler from the way, way, way past. But I'm just not a TikToker. So there was a few things that went over my head, and I just sat there like, wow, I'm old. All right, let me find my other lining. There it is. Perfect. This oopsie is strange. It's like almost a weird I don't know what it is. It's like a weird polyester. Oh, this is strange. These oopsies, you never know what you're going to get with this. This is like almost like a weird canvas, I want to say. Is it lined? Oh, this is going to be hilarious. I don't know if I kind of want this more satin side on the outside than the rough side. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Going to make an executive decision here. I'm going to use this weird satin side. You know what's funny? I bought this because it's like, it's black. I love black material because it's universal. But also, I bought it because I thought it was more canvasy. I turned it over and it's like synthetic on the inside. And it's beautiful. So I'm keeping it. Is MySpace still around? I don't do TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace. The list goes on. Do you know, I think MySpace is still around, but it returned to being about music. I think. I would during the pandemic, I know this is a shocker, I was bored and I tried to get into my old MySpace account and it was something completely different. It's still around. MySpace was my, by the time Facebook came around, we were all veterans because of MySpace. Perfect. Do you know what's funny? I remember people explaining social media to me, and all these years removed, it makes me laugh. The explanations that people had back in the day. Like, oh, this is the new thing, man. This is the future. It's this thing called MySpace. I wish I had recorded. There's a few people I wish I had recorded saying that. What is this material? Do you know, it feels almost like a fake pleather, but it's not. It gives a shine like a synthetic material. This is everything the stinky material wished it was. A while ago, I purchased this extremely smelly material from Modelo Man. Still to this day, I have no idea what it was. It smelled like burning gas. It had this hardcore petroleum smell to it, and it never washed off. And every time you would cut it, it would outgas. I bought it because it looked like fake leather, but I paid for it because it was extremely smelly. I was a Naboo Network person. I was one of their pioneers of the internet way back in like 1987, 88-ish. Then I left until 1997-ish. We all know about your cheap, crappy, smelly material. This is everything that the stinky material wishes it was, is all I'm saying. And I know I traumatized people with that stuff. And still to this day, I have really sensitive skin. When I was making the chaps or I made anything, if that stuff touched my skin, I could literally feel it on my skin. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. I still watch your live streams while I'm working. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, perfect. I need to quit waffling. Do you know what's funny? When I'm by myself and I'm like watching something or, just hanging out, I could literally have this done in less than a half an hour. But when I'm on YouTube, for some reason, it takes 10 times longer. Perfect. Perfect. Yay. Have a great night, Mona. Have a great night. Let me look at my notes. Okay, so I have this weird thing about Amazon. And just stay with me, okay? I am addicted to Amazon. I am one of those crazy people that Amazon loves. And when I do, I'm not kidding you. If 3 days go by and I haven't ordered something, Amazon is like, did we do something wrong? Did we? I've, and I'm not saying I order something every day, but I take weeks off, and they're like, hey, we still exist. But on Amazon, all of their denim vests now are distressed. They no longer sell just regular style denim vests. And if they do, they want $85 for something that I know is worth $23. I know it's probably not even worth. I can't say this without laughing, because I know the industry now and I know how cheap they get that, especially when you buy it in mass. Like, these guys are buying units. And when you buy it in mass, you're not paying that much, And so because Amazon has an infrastructure, I know that these things are cheap, but everything is distressed now. Everything has this distressed look. And I'm going to tell you, I have Levi coats that are 30, 40 years old, and they don't start getting distressed until the 45-year mark. It's crazy to me. It is just crazy to me. Nicely matched pattern. Thank you, Alibaba. But it's weird to me how they sell everything distressed now. I want to make it distressed. I want to do it on my own. I don't, because there's weird phases of a jacket. It's when you first buy the jacket and it's brand new and everyone's like, oh, wow, that's a new jacket. Then you wear it, you wash it a few times, it loses its color. You throw some patches on it, give it some character. There's stages to jackets' lives. And I think it's weird that on Amazon, everything is sold distressed now. Everything. This is girl jeans all over again. Where I live, you cannot purchase a pair of jeans. The only place you can buy a pair of jeans is Walmart that are not tapered at the bottom. It's the strangest thing. It is the strangest thing to me. So now on Amazon, there's this new thing where it's only distressed vests. And I like buying, more affordable vests because I layer and I throw a million patches on everything. It's my style, and the price has gone up and everything's distressed now. It's crazy. The market has completely changed. And it's weird to me how they'll use a multi-million-dollar laser to sell you a $14 jacket. And when they're distressed, they're just not made as well as they used to be. And I think that's part of the problem too. But they're still charging the same price. And so the denim market is just it's crazy right now because they're selling this weird mixed poly blend synthetic denim and trying to pass it off as the stuff that we all know, and it's not. And it does not last. That's why lately, even with my so-called life jacket and the one that I'm sewing on right now, I went into the store and I bought actual Levi jackets that were like actual denim because I have a bad feeling that whole market is going to fade out one day and everything is going to be synthetic denim. It's just really sad. Well, there are other stores than Amazon. There are stores that sell good stuff out there. You just have to go to Amazon Anonymous and quit buying junk 7 days a week. No, but this is happening everywhere where there's this really weird synthetic blend, and you really have to hunt to find denim nowadays. But I totally agree with you, what you said. It's a little bit of a lot of what Kilroy said and a little bit of what I said. The quality just isn't there like it used to be. Perfect. And I should be a denim tester. I wear things out. So I need something that's actually reliable because I'm gonna find out if it's real or not. I need something kind of heavy. Oh, we'll use my notes. There we go. Perfect. And I buy small items from Amazon. That's where they stick me. That's where they get me. Is because I'm addicted to buying patches. So I'll buy like all of these, like every patch I've ever wanted, I bought off of Amazon. And because I consider them inexpensive, I'm just like, oh, bam, bam, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. Because I really do not buy big things on Amazon because I'm tactile and I need to be able to touch it. I need to be able to try it on. Even at the Goodwill, if I'm not feeling froggy that day, I'll put it up against my body and be like, okay, all right, this fits. I've never purchased a pair of shoes on Amazon because I have a giant foot. And if I would be so disappointed because I always, like I want a specific pair of boots or something, I would be disappointed if I ordered them and they didn't fit properly. So I like being able to go to the store and kind of, kick the tires a little bit. It's the small junk they get me for. Or stupid things like I needed a bunch of new brushes for my kitchen, so I bought that. Like all the rugs in my kitchen I've purchased off of Amazon. It's the little things they get me for. And because they have competitive prices, they're in a lot of ways they're cheaper than Walmart. But I agree with you. Amazon does have a lot of cheap replicas, though. Even with my vests, a lot of my vests, I have this one is real Milwaukee leather. I went into a store and I purchased it. I've purchased a bunch of Milwaukee leather off of Amazon. They are not created equal. This jacket has never faded. It's still black. It's denim. I've had it for like 4 or 5 years. My the Milwaukee leather that I purchased off of Amazon, I think I took pictures of it last time. I put it in my tub and I soaked it with cold water and it just started bleeding out all the black dye. But I know this from experience though. And also, you got to read those Amazon reviews. They're like when you see those people in distress telling you don't buy this, they're trying to tell you something. Companies make cheap Amazon only versions. There's a motorcycle shop up the street from my house, and I was feeling real fresh one day, and so I went and bought a real biker vest. And so I really liked it, and I bought its cousin off of Amazon. And these two, they're two completely different vests. Because I wanted to have two of the same kind. I was trying to build like the godless sewing line of all these vests, and it was a cheap Amazon replica. But I learned my lesson though. Kind of. And that's another thing, like Amazon sizing charts are so off. You always have to go a size up. So, like if you're an extra large, you literally have to order an extra large. At least in the biker vest world, or just in the vest or jacket world in general. These are just things that I notice. But again, I'm the person who buys a ton of stuff off of Amazon. I'm trying to think, have I ever purchased a pair of shoes? No, I don't think I've ever purchased a pair of shoes off of Amazon. Perfect. I almost bought my camera off of Amazon, and I'm really glad that I didn't, because I have a bad feeling it would not have been a Nikon or a Canon or whatever I was trying to order at the time, you know. Or it just wouldn't have been of the same quality. Like my camera today, I was just kind of messing around with it, taking pictures because it was a beautiful day. That thing, I'm gonna have to sit down with a manual with that thing. It's so perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I have the back, and now I just have to get the arms. That's really disappointing, though, that companies do make cheap Amazon versions, especially Milwaukee Leather, because in the real world, they're an actually really dependable brand. And it's just when I say it's dependable, it's something that you could like. It can take a lot of wear and tear. Like even Carhartt, Duluth, all of that stuff. But if you get the knockoff stuff, you'll know. And even lately, a lot of the stuff I've ordered from Amazon has either been canceled. Like I ordered this patch, and for some reason, every time I order this one specific patch, I'm not even gonna say out loud what it is. Every time I order it, it does not come to my house. It's just it's the strangest thing, or there's some delay, and I need to stop ordering it. Some are not official product, but a cheap made in China product that looks like the real deal. I agree. I agree. And it's so easy to make a knockoff. Just like when I really started diving deep into the fashion district, when I would get lost in these patch shops because they have hundreds of boxes just aligning the walls with the patch on the box. But I would walk through, and in the way back, that's where you get the Gucci labels. I have like all these French labels. I have all these Italian labels. I'll show them to you when I find my patch box. Well, it's over there buried. But my whole point is I bought a ton of labels, and I was looking up certain Italian labels, and I'm like, oh crap, like that's worth, it's just all knockoffs. So you really have to be careful. And the funny thing is, I love a good bootleg. I have a bootleg Houston Astros Nolan Ryan jersey. I love that thing. It's huge. It's the 1970s color. It has the giant Houston Astros star. I love that thing. There's no way I'm going to pay $400 for a real Nolan Ryan jersey. I am not that big of a fan. But I found that jersey years and years ago at a thrift store, and every time I wear it, people are like, "Where did you get that? That thing is." They'll tell me they're like, "Oh, that thing's legit," not realizing how bootleg it is, utterly and completely bootleg. $400 is too much for a jersey. I'm not kidding you. Right now at Dick's Sporting Goods, they wanted like 250 for, and when I say names, I'm talking about Dodger or King jerseys, but they wanted 250 for a Mookie Betts. They wanted $300 for a Jonathan Quick jersey. He doesn't even play on the Kings anymore. He's not even on the team. And I'll never forget Dick's Sporting Goods. They're oddly wide and they're huge, these huge stores. I'm standing in the store and I'm like, the guy's not even on the team and you want $300 for the jersey? What's wrong with you? I'm sure Loss Prevention people have a field day watching me. But it's strange to me how much money they charge. Even all my fitted hats, those are $45 a pop. And in California, that's $45 plus tax. And you're paying, what is it, 11 something cents on the dollar, or the tax is something crazy. I used to buy because jerseys, like hockey jerseys, really do not change. But in the past 10, 15 years, they figured out, hey, we can make money. And they have different series like the stadium series. They have all these different events in hockey. But really what it is they're pushing all of these jerseys. I quit buying them because it's like every year they do this one little tweak on the jersey and then charge you $300 for it. It's crazy. It's become this giant racket. Not to mention, like, if you don't have season tickets, parking is $100. If you want to park within 10 miles of the stadium, tickets are outrageous. So you're spending a lot of money. All right. So in between all that, after all that waffling about why I do not go to Kings games anymore, I do. I've brought it down to once a year. I think because I like sitting at my house and watching it on TV. And plus the prices are so sky high, it's just not what it used to be. Let's line the arms with something else. You know what? This is the House of Song. We're gonna go full pirate. Ugh. Let's start surging everything. Perfect. All right. So I'm still kind of shocked that I purchased this serger and it works. Usually there's a big problem. Excuse me, something completely bonks. But this time I see no problems with this serger, and I need to stop saying that because it's probably good. Something catastrophic is gonna happen. But I purchased this for $40. And sergers go for way more than that in California. All three machines that I purchased in Nevada, there is no way that I would have been able to purchase them for the price that I did. It's insane how much cheaper sewing machines were in the state of Nevada. It's crazy. But, everything's more expensive when you live in certain states. When you live near the water, you pay more, I guess. I don't know. Let me move this table back. But Nevada was so affordable that I was able to purchase 2 newer sewing machines and a serger. I saw an older overlocker for free just today. That never happens around here. An industrial overlocker. That never happened. A Juki. I need to start keeping my eye out for deals like that. You rarely see deals like that around here. Still to this day, I'm mad because I passed on a couple Jukis in Ventura because they didn't have the cord. That was a long time ago. You know what? I am going to pin this. I'm going full pirate this evening, but I need I need a guide on this. Perfect. There's quite a few machines that I regret walking past, and those Juki Sergers are on top of the list. But, you know, you live and you learn. That mistake will never happen again. But my Vegas trip was extremely fruitful, and I'm still shocked that I have two machines that are now fighting to become the #1 machine here in the House of Sewing. And I can say, for the record, I actually destroyed a baby lock sewing machine. That's got to be not a first, but that's got to be on the list somewhere. Oh man, my son is making turkey legs and I could smell it. Oh. He's ready for the summer. He's in full night owl mode. He is ready for the summer. Beautiful. Perfect. It's going to take me a while to get used to this machine, and it's actually extremely left-hand friendly. But it's going to take me a while because this is the exact opposite makeup of the other machine that I had. And I swear they do that on purpose to, you know, to be different from the competition. The Vegas Serger is holding up so far. I'm going to make a giant mess on my desk right now. This did not come with the bucket underneath. It was literally just the Serger without a cord. But Joy gave me a suggestion a while ago, and I have a bunch of buckets on the side of my house. So I'm going to probably convert the table I use for my Saturday night sewing. I'm probably going to convert that for this thing. Your son has to be a Viking with how many turkey legs he eats. It drives me crazy. Kilroy, it drives me. He has made me not like turkey. He eats so much of it. My house smells like a Renaissance fair. And I have all these, I have a ton of fans going right now. And so I can smell it. I can smell it. And I don't even like turkey. And I'm like, oh man, that smells real good in there. And I don't even like this stuff. He's a good kid though. Like if he makes like a baked potato or something, he'll make me one. Like he's a good kid. He thinks about me. About his dear old pops out here sewing. Beautiful. He does though. He eats turkey legs like they're going out of style. He's gonna love this summer because Renaissance Fair season is coming. He's gonna love it. I still have to laugh because I could not figure this machine out. I was like, what? It's me. It's me. The threads were not in the tension discs at all. At all. And I have to remind myself that this is a left-handed machine as well. Beautiful. Oh, I think the Ren Fair is very soon. Pomona Fair is right now, isn't it? I need to look that up. You know what's funny? When my son was younger, we used to do all of these things and go to all these crazy places because he didn't have. I'd be like, let's go to the museum. He'd be like, yeah, let's go, because he was like 9 years old and it was cool. He's 14 now, and I have to be like, get in the car. We're just gonna go. Look, just get in the car. We used to go to the Getty Museum all the time. And I asked him, I was like, do you want to go to the Getty? And he's like, no. And I'm like, get in the car. We're going to the museum. Ah, good times. I will never understand Renaissance fairs. Is it because of the people? Is it because of the atmosphere? I've studied the Renaissance a bit, and they've got it totally wrong. I used to live in a medieval town. That's awesome. You've told us 10 billion times about your Getty Museum trips. I love that place. I love the Getty. I love that place. And it's the only place that I've ever bought season tickets, and they weren't trying to sell them to me for $10,000. I miss going to the Getty. It made me feel sophisticated. But then a lot more people started homeschooling their kids. So I started noticing, like on a Tuesday, I'm like, what are all these people doing here? Don't they have lives? But they were all homeschooled as well. So, my plan caught on. Oh, I missed the last piece on that. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to go by myself this summer and take 1,000,000 selfies. And then I'm going to send them all to my son. Be like, I'm having the time of my life at the museum. I go to sophisticated places, then I go find out just how much of an average American homer I am. Do you know what's funny, Kilroy? I call myself a homer as well. I'm always like, yeah, because I've been to all these crazy places. I've done all these crazy things, and I'm like, I'm a homer in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. So I'm the same way. I am swimming in fabric over here. So far, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. With the lining, I'm really liking this Singer Ultra Lock. All right, I'm going to take the pins out right now so there's no drama later. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Beautiful. And you know what's funny? I can tell whoever owned the Brother Machine smoked cigarettes, This machine is kind of heating up, and you can tell that they did not smoke around this machine. The brother machine, I was working with it, and I'm like, who is smoking Marby Reds in here? And I'm not kidding you. I went and got another nose, and they were like, no, that machine reeks of cigarettes. Which makes sense if it comes from Vegas. Like, that is smokers' heaven. Las Vegas, you can legally walk around with booze on the streets, and I'm talking about in the residential streets. You can walk, at least from what I know. So I'm not shocked that that brother reeks of cigarettes, but it kind of makes me laugh. And you know what's funny? Just a weird observation. If a machine smells like cigs, I'll pay more for it. That stale cig smells is relaxing to me, probably just because I grew up smoky bars. Is my internet going bad? It's telling me, oh, there it is. My internet's back. It told me my internet went out for a while. Spectrum. I grew up around smokers. Even today, I was talking to my mom, and she was telling me how all of my old stuff, because I've been going through my closet, I've been going through my storage unit, and I needed help. So I brought my mother with me because I needed someone to ridicule me through the entire process. And she told me when I opened up my storage unit, it smelled like Captain Black because I smoked Captain Black for a very long time. My father did. And I really didn't smell it until I opened up the storage unit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this smells like pipe tobacco. And I have a really weird observation about Las Vegas. Less people smoke cigarettes. Las Vegas did not seem as smoky to me. Excuse me, but also State Line was abandoned. There was nobody in State Line. I am still shocked. Like the industry, the industry is actually probably dying. Well, the economy is just because people don't have money to go on vacation. I get it, but like there was that room. You walk in State Line and it just reeks of cigarettes. It didn't smell like cigarettes, and most casinos, like you didn't see people smoking like they used to. I think the propaganda has got through the younger generation, and good for them. But it was just strange to me because in Las Vegas, everyone smokes. And if you're not smoke friendly, then Las Vegas is not a place for you. But it was the strangest thing. But you know what? The world's changing. People are educated more. They have more information about smoking, so less people are smoking, I think. I come from a generation where everybody smoked cigarettes. Everybody. So it's weird to me to see the younger generation not imbibing like the older generation did, because we copy each other. Like we think we're so original, but like we're literally copying styles from from the past. And if you don't think you are, just do some research. People vape nowadays, which vaping probably does the same stuff. It just the current people are guinea pigs. Oh, why do you keep on? That is so creepy. I'm about to unplug you. Megan keeps on popping up on my computer. That is the strangest thing. All right. That is true. That is true. Because I truly cannot vape because of my lung issues, I wouldn't even know the first thing about it. I tried vaping and it just is not for me. It literally almost put me in the hospital within a month. They are though, because I don't think there enough information out to know the long-term effects of that. I'm saying that with concern, like I didn't smoke for 20 years. Like I didn't smoke cigarettes for like 20 years. Perfect. You know, I know this material isn't tweed. This is like synthetic tweed, but I love working with this material. It shapes extremely well on the serger. Oh, right. Perfect. But I've seen clouds of vape smoke go 300 feet. It's funny you would say that, like, uh, because where I live is traffic central USA. And you know what's funny? It's really not, because I went to there's traffic everywhere where there's a major city, but um it makes me laugh when I see people blow those giant vape clouds out their cars. I hate how vape smoke sticks around. I smoke my pipe 20 feet away. The smoke is gone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect. Where I live, you have to be standing like a football field away from the door, or people will chastise you. Worse than the law, you will be ridiculed. They start throwing tomatoes at you. I lived in Oregon back when you could smoke everywhere. And right before I left is when they were trying to introduce bills about not smoking. And I'll never forget, this guy stood up and he was like, "This is Oregon. We smoke here." I don't know why that stuck with me my entire life. Oh, but the bill eventually passed and you can't smoke everywhere like you used to. Ah. Glycol in your lungs is way worse, I think. Vapes are Glycol. I used to work with a guy who liked to vape by the door because the building HVAC sucked the vape smoke in. Not gonna lie, it was kind of cool to watch. I still blow smoke rings, but they're not like I don't know, vaping. Every time I see that, I'm like, man, that's got to be extremely unhealthy. But again, I smoked cigarettes for almost 20 years. So I'm just speaking from bad lung experience. And if you hear me now, I'm in my 40s and I have the lung capacity of somebody who's in their 70s and smokes cigars their entire life. So if smoking cigarettes is bad, imagine what vaping does to you in the long term. I don't even think can you vape for 20 years? We smoke big time in Pennsylvania, so much to where it's one of the few states left where you can still smoke in bars. That's extremely interesting. I've never seen as many smoke shops as I have here in PA. All kinds, trashy ones, classy ones. I miss the classy smoke shop. I used to buy my pipe tobacco from this guy who smoked in his shop, and he had couches, and he turned it into a cigar lounge, and it was the most relaxing place. I miss that place. I do not go in there because I do not smoke my pipe anymore. So, don't even want to be tempted. Oh, I'm going to unplug you. That is the strangest thing. I don't know why Megan keeps on popping up. The DVD keeps on trying to play on my computer. I am going to unplug you, glitchy computer. Oh, that is so strange. You are about to get unplugged. That is so weird. Perfect. Okay. So I unplugged Megan. I have no idea why my computer is possessed. Oh, you guys can see it. My computer is possessed. I have no idea. I unplugged my DVD player. Maybe Megan just wants to have a good time. I missed scary movies. Meghan Markle. I'd hang out with Meghan Markle. A lot of people are haters. I'm sure she's a great conversation. A walk-in humidor. Oh, I miss those places. I have a smoke shop like that 20 minutes from my house, smoke shop downstairs. I miss those places. I made friends in those places. I miss it. And plus, I used to do a lot of writing in those, and I would go in there and hang out. It was a weird lounge. I miss my old smoke shop. But that whole side of town has changed. Instead of yuppie smoke shops now, they have yuppie pizza shops and all kinds of weird stuff. They have this pizza place that's like it's like Benihana's. They cook it in front of you. They have pizza ovens all over the place, and you tell them what you want on it, and they literally cook it in front of you. But it's super yuppie. Beautiful. There was a Canadian politician in Ottawa that had a walk-in humidor. He was a leader of the NDP party for a long time. Had a cigar with him and a chat. Was very cool. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And Pizza Hut and Domino's will outlast him. In my town, especially my town, restaurants do not last longer than 2 years. Especially here, because people are like, oh, there's money here and blah blah blah. Man, restaurants do not last. Chains have lasted around here because they have the money to sustain through the economy, but a lot of businesses do not last around here. It's sad. It's really sad, actually, because people come all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and then they leave with their tails between their legs. But the market is extremely competitive here, especially for restaurants. It's not like San Francisco used to be, but we have a lot of space, so there's restaurants everywhere. All right. Alibaba, do you still smoke cigars? I wish I had the lungs. I do not have the lung capacity. And I know you're not supposed to inhale. All right. I'm trying to think. There used to be a lot more cigar smoking type people around here, but that's kind of gone the way of the dodo as well. But again, I used to be in circles of people who smoked, and I really don't smoke anymore. At least nicotine like that. Okay. Beautiful. I can't afford them as I used to so suddenly, but I still will. My asthmatic older brother used to smoke cigars. And I'd look at him like, because he was trying to be like the cool kids. And I'd be like, you're crazy, dude. I have bucket lungs. One time they had to x-ray my lungs. They said it'd only take 2 x-rays. They needed to take 7. I wish I had, man. I wish I had the lung capacity to smoke. I love Monte Cristo #3. Wow, you're taking me back. Or David off or Romeo and Juliet. Oh, you're taking me back. You're taking me back. I've smoked all 3 of those. That's why I like pipes. Ollie pipe tobacco is cheaper. Way cheaper. I still have a lot of my Captain Black cans, but I kept them around for nostalgia. Plus, they reminded me of my pops, so I kept them around. All right, let's see which side this is. Perfect. Perfect. This is actually a perfect cut on this coat. You know, oopsies are really hit or miss. When I turned this over, I had to laugh when the inside of the material was silky. It looks way better than I intended it to be. So this is going to be awesome. I miss pipe tobacco. When I opened up my storage unit, I was like, ah. But I think, like anything else, it's more of the effect of the moment and less of what I was doing, because smoking is bad. But it's the camaraderie I had, the people I was with, and a lot of those people aren't around anymore. So that smell completely reminded me of the past. And all the salty pirates that I've hung out with in my life. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Since the table's right here, I'm going to go straight to the serger. Every once in a while, I'll hear something that I like knocks over, and I'm like, I don't even want to look. If it's not a beverage, I'm not even going to look. All right. You know, my voice is going to be non-existent tomorrow. The relaxation I get from my pipe at least balances out the health effects. If it not cancels them out, my heart rate is usually only seen in hardcore athletes, as if anything, my blood pressure is low. And if anything, my blood pressure is low. It's funny because I never realized how much smoking cigarettes raised your blood pressure. And at my work, I'll never forget, we have all kinds of equipment, and they got a bunch of new blood pressure cuffs. And I got this call on the radio. They're like, hey, we want to check these out. Straight from my smoke break, I came and I sat down calmly, and they checked my heart rate, and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, what is wrong with you? You have the heart rate of somebody who just like sprinted over here right now, you know? And it didn't dawn on me that smoking ups your heart rate. Oh, that is my phone clip. Oh, right. I still enjoy my morning breaks. It's the one joy I get in the morning. So I completely understand. And it's where I weirdly center myself too in the morning. And I make my plans to take over the world. All right, let's see how the serger does. It just went through about 4 or 5 different pieces of material. Perfect. This is I scored in Las Vegas with this. Oh, that's the weirdest thing. Oh, it says my camera was unplugged. I was like, what is going on? We'll do this the old school way. There we go. We'll see beautiful WKRP in Cincinnati right there. My camera got unplugged. I'll figure it out later. A semi-common prank in the military is to eat a couple tablespoons of salt and smoke a few cigs before you have the medic check you out. Make the medic think you're gonna punch your ticket. Yeah, you literally like people are like, what's wrong with you? Oh, that's so funny. I'm gonna have to do that again. It even all right, let's try that one more time. Your cam probably overheated. You know what's really funny? This time of year, I move a lot of my computers out of here. Last year, I only had a couple of computers in here because it gets so overheated and so hot in this room that the old school computers, they do not tell me, but the new school computers are like, are you crazy? Why am I in this room? So that's probably exactly what's going on. And I need to get a better fan system in here. I have a full air conditioned window unit. What am I trying to stammer out? I have a full window air conditioned unit. I think it's futile to plug it in a giant room like this. I'm probably going to sell it in a garage sale to somebody who actually needs it. I actually had that conversation today that I need to sell that thing. Oof. I keep on forgetting that this is an older serger. I'm going to have to go through all of my equipment, though. And I know what you guys are going to say. I have a Samsung computer that the inside battery or something in it is slowly swelling. And it's getting bigger and bigger. I think it's eventually going to explode. But it hasn't, and the computer's old. It's old. It's from like 2014, 2015, but it still works. You can buy a 1500 BTU Windows unit. They do a sewing shed just fine. I have one right here. It's just my pops was the first person who brought it in this room, and I thought it was dumb. I thought it was dumb because it gets hot in here, and he would point it right over where he was sitting, and I'm like, it's kind of pointless. And so I haven't plugged it in because I always thought he was just pulling all this power for no reason for that thing. And so when I find something that's a little bit more energy efficient and cool, like I need something that's going to direct, like my fan is cooling me off right now. That has more power than that air conditioning unit. The air conditioning unit needs to be in a smaller room. And you know, I'm in my sewing room is my garage. So it's airy in here. Do not use that computer. It is an extreme fire hazard in that condition. I knew you were going to scold me for that one. But you know me, I want to have everything plugged in at the same time for no good reason other than I am the Tim Allen of sewing. Well, actually, no, I'm the Tool Time of sewing. Tim Allen in real life is kind of a shrub. All right, let's check this out and see how it looks. And yes, I have an expanding computer in here, and it's not a positive thing at all. Not at all. Your insurance company is going to see this and deny your claim. I dare them to dig through hours and hours of my YouTube channel. I don't think they pay people enough for that anymore. But it's a Samsung. And I remember when all those Samsung phones were exploding, that's when I was like, uh-oh. And yeah, it's slowly expanding. It is slowly expanding. Beautiful. Okay. So now is the moment that I'm going to throw this. Oops. I'm going to throw this on the table. Where are we at? We're at 2 hours. I should end this soon. I should end this. Been going for 2 hours. I'll waffle for a little bit longer, but this is gonna take a little bit longer. And I've been staying up all night. I think I should do another after the stream video. It's been a long time since I've done an after the stream video. Hey, Dose, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you going to save the build for the next stream? Well, I'm going to try to finish this tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. I might go full Elvis. I don't know. No, you said you're going to go full Elvis on Saturday. Live up to the Elvis. All right, let me drink some coffee. I gotta clean up. That's the problem. I need an assistant. Oh, I have donut holes in here. The donut holes might save the stream. Oh, it's because I haven't been sleeping. And so I go through these weird periods of feeling exhausted. But the second I get off stream, I'm going to start watching something and be wide awake. How's it going? I lost my voice. Did you watch yeah, you were one. Did you watch Critically Drinking earlier? I lost my voice. Utterly and completely. I'm finishing a coat right now. Smoking bowls and eating holes. is the name of my next punk album. I recently went to Las Vegas, and I'm crazy because I purchased 3 sewing machines. Most people go to Las Vegas for vacation, and I went to buy sewing machines. Oh, donut holes goes instantly, Homer. It's because the store I go to did not have my blue cookies. Usually I go crazy for my giant frosting blue cookies, but they didn't have them this time. And so I bought a huge box of donut holes. And I'm kind of shaming myself because I only bought this a day and a half ago and I'm almost done. No, and by the time I figured it out, it was past business hours. We're still talking about food. Man, you guys got me going earlier. You guys got me. I was starving. We were talking about tacos, and I had tacos earlier, but now I want even more. Oh man, these donut holes are evil. Oh man. Sometimes I wonder what they really put in this stuff because I am addicted to these things. I was genuinely mad that they did not have my frosting cookies. I'm like, can a 40-year-old man just get his cookies and live in peace? 40 something year old man. Oh, it made me laugh though. Because they're like, oh, we don't have these, but we have these other things that are extremely bad for you. I'm going to have a small plate of nachos later. I made chili fries the other night, and it reminded me like when I was younger, I was a chef. I would go in the kitchen and go off. And the older I get, I've become jaded. Man, I chopped up onions, chives. I had chili. I cooked the fries in oil. They were amazing. It was amazing. And it reminded me how much I used to care back in the day. Sugar, the most addictive substance in the world. It's true. Like I said on Rashawn's stream earlier, last Halloween, I started eating candy. I bought way too much candy. I live in a neighborhood near an elementary school. So certain years there's a ton of kids. Then other years you're like, are there any kids that live in this neighborhood? But this was kind of an in-between year, and I ended up with a ton of candy and I didn't stop. And it's literally the next year and I'm still eating candy. Oh, excuse me. I used to be that way too. Now it's all frozen stuff and boxed stuff. That's what happened to me. I think that's what happened to me. And also, I cook every day for my son, and I'm for real. Like, you get jaded after a while, you know? I knew somebody that would always cook chicken all the time, and I would be like, you're crazy. And I slowly became that person because it's just a default. You're like, all right, did we have chicken yesterday? No, we're having chicken today. I'm like that. I'm like, oh, we didn't have it yesterday. We're having it today because it's just the ultra default. And you fall in these weird holes of eating the same thing over and over. Even with my cookies, I was mad they didn't have my sugar cookies. But like Doe said, really, it's just feeding my sugar addiction. I started going through sugar withdrawals right there at the store. Like, oh no, what am I going to do? Speaking of which, I think it's time for a Pepsi. I'll be right back. Oh man. That kid cooked 3 turkey legs like he's living in a, like my house smells like a Renaissance fair. I've been cooking for myself since I was 12. My mother was extremely grateful for that. I was the youngest of a large batch of people, so my mom was like, I quit. I was like 9 or 10 years old. You need to put on elevator music when you leave. I watched this one YouTuber and she puts this crazy music on and she has Tamar Braxton dancing. I like her old. She used to have Lenny Kravitz, Tamar, and Nicki Minaj because she was making fun of all 3 of them. But now it's just Tamar dancing badly. So whenever she leaves the room, she's like, oh, hold on. And then it's Tamar Jackson dancing badly. I might make something like that. You know what it is? I need to find what's it called? Non-copyrighted music. I know it's out there. I know it exists. I just have yet to find it. Because there's people who or they pay for a service or something. But if my channel ever does get monetized, I'm not going to have one video to monetize because I have nothing but copyrighted music on my channel. You could play Magnum PI or Hawaii Five-0 theme. You know what? I was feeling really depressed yesterday, and I came this close to buying the entire series of Magnum PI, but I stopped myself. I was like, William, is this an emotional buy right now? I literally talked myself off the Amazon cliff yesterday. Oh, that was last night. I was like, hey, man, is this emotional? Are you just having a moment? Are you just having a moment right now? I was waiting for you to be the terrible influence on that one. At my local, at the one I go to, the Walmart I go to, they had it was a bundle with Airwolf and Knight Rider. And I was like, I was really into Knight Rider as a kid, but Airwolf was just on. So I remember watching Airwolf, but I'm not into it like that. But thank you, Kilroy, for being for being the devil on my shoulder that says, watch it. I used to watch Knight Rider all the time. Me too. Knight Rider reminds me of 80s television. It's really weird when I watch Alf and they're like, oh, this was an 80s show. It doesn't feel like that to me because I remember watching it. For some reason, I thought it was 90s. I saw a Dolomite complete collection at Walmart several years ago. I'm still kicking myself for not buying it. I have all of Dolomite on VHS. I have all that stuff. I have everything they put out for Shaft, except for the remake. I have all that 1970s stuff on VHS, of course. I should start reordering all that stuff. I still watch the Mac every once in a while, but with certain movies like that Uptown Saturday Night, I've seen them so many times. I do it like this. I'll put it on and I don't put the volume on because I know what's going on because I've seen it so many times. Oh, no. All right, let me clean up this mess. You know what? No, I'm going to continue taking my break for a minute. I'm going to enjoy my break. I can remember watching the original Shaft show with my parents way back when they were new. and Hawaii 5 the old one. I still watch that every day. You know, part of me blames Kilroy because like a year or two, Kilroy was like, I watch Hawaii 5. It's on you know, we have crazy channels. I still have cable. I know I'm a dinosaur. And on a local channel, they show all the old school television shows. I watch Sanford and Son almost every day and Hawaii 5. Car Wash is one of my favorites. Great soundtrack. There is this huge point of contention because in Los Angeles, where they filmed that car wash is still there. Every time someone buys it, they're like, you realize this is a part of Los Angeles history. They make people basically, if you buy the car wash, you have to keep it as is. The new Hawaii 5 sucks. I have yet to watch the new MacGyver. And you guys know how I feel about MacGyver. I've seen it. I watched the old school. I loved the old school MacGyver. I haven't watched the new Magnum PI. And like the other day when I was in Vegas, in my thrift store travels, I bought season 1 of Quantum Leap still in the plastic for $3. Excuse me. So I'm looking up all these things. I'm looking up Quantum Leap. I didn't even know they did a remake. I had no idea they did a remake. I loved that movie, Dose. I loved Car Wash too. I had no idea they did a remake of Quantum Leap. So I'm going to have to check that out. I'm sure it's not going to be as good as the original. Good. Got to keep some history. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. They recently tore down a movie theater in my town, and I thought it was insane. That place was an old dollar theater, and it was a part of it was just a part of history in this town. It was one of the only things that kind of made us stand out because you really don't have things like that anymore. I don't know where you guys live, but where I live, we no longer have drive-in movie theaters. And so there's just certain things that have gone the way of the dodo. And it was sad to see that place go. So there's certain places that they keep history like that. And in a weird way, I think because of GTA, this is a weird theory, but all car washes now look like the car wash from the 70s. But I think that's because of Grand Theft Auto. Don't get me wrong. But they've built all these new car washes all around LA, the San Fernando Valley, the San Gabriel Valley, Orange County. They look like 1970s car washes. If there was a dollar theater, it was probably so stinky you could even turn it into an adult theater. Nah, man, they would just, before the internet, a movie would be out, and then 3 months later it would be in the dollar theater. There's one drive-in sort of near me. We have one here about 15 miles. We don't have any of that. I wish, man. I miss that. I went to one in Arizona, but that's about it. It's been that long since I've been to a drive-in. Now I have the car wash theme stuck in my head. There's a car wash that I go to where that is like every third song is car wash. It's cool when you go to the car wash, but if you work there, that has to drive you mentally insane. That would slowly drive me mentally insane. Whoops, wrong angle. All right, so I'm going to clean up a little bit in here while I'm still taking my break. Let me check my notes. I've really been during the holiday season, I try to stay in my house because there's checkpoints everywhere. There's no point in going anywhere. And people get crazy this time of year. This is fireworks season here in LA. From this day on, people start setting off fireworks. I will hear fireworks until August. Car washes are often used for money laundering, cash only business. So if you have some sketchy money, it's easy to deposit it into a bank and have an alibi. That's so true. That is true, Kilroy. That is true. I never thought about that. I'm gonna go buy a car wash, especially the first lyric. You might not ever get rich, but it's better than digging a ditch. Oh, good old days. The good old days. Oh, you know what's so funny? I have a ton of records, and I'm wondering if I have a working record player in this house. Because I have a ton of records. And I always jokingly say how I have Bobby Brown's entire career on vinyl, but I'm kind of not joking. But I have all kinds of cool stuff, and I have like a ton of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I have a ton of stuff on vinyl. And every 80s one hit wonder and 90s one hit wonder you could think of. Until I started buying CDs. Oh man, I grew up near a record store, so I used to buy singles. I still laugh when I go to my mom's house and I'm clearing something out and I'll find like a single and I'm like, oh, the good old days. Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna definitely keep this for scraps, even though I have seriously in this room, I have over 11 bags filled of 55-gallon bags filled with scraps, and I have bag number 12 building up back behind my 6-foot table. All right. I'm gonna keep this for the collar, and I'm trying not to use my donut hole chocolatey fingers on the fabric. Oh man, these things are good. They still have singles and LPs, some old 78s too. First single was by the Supremes on the Motown label. Oh, that's awesome. I love stuff like that. I absolutely love stuff like that. Just started my record collection last year. I have about 8 records now. I have quite a few. You know, I'm a hoarder, so I know it shocks no one, but like I was gone for throughout my entire 20s. I had no contact with my hometown. I traveled around. I had real life adventures. That's why I have no regrets. Honestly, like I'm in my 40s and I sit back and laugh when people are going through like midlife crisis. I'm like, see, you should have been a pirate in your 20s like the rest of us. But I went to my parents' house and got all of my sister's records, my records, anything that anybody ever purchased. And if anyone in my family's watching, if you want it, possession is 9/10 of the law. But anyways, so I have all the records, anything you could think of. And it kind of makes me laugh. Like I always used to jokingly say, oh, I have the Jets. No, I have the Jets for real. Menudo, Bobby Brown, all kinds of classical stuff. And you think I'm playing when I say I have Tchaikovsky. I have anything that you could think of that Tchaikovsky that anybody ever put on vinyl. All kinds of fun stuff. But the 80s and the 90s were famous for singles. So I have all kinds of early hip hop stuff. Slick Rick. I have Slick Rick on vinyl. And you know, it's worth way more money now than it was back then. All right, let me hang this up. Oh man, you know it's getting late when I start talking about my Slick Rick vinyl. I purchased that in 1989, and still to this day, I'm like counting on my fingers, like, oh man, 1989 was a while ago. But I was a little grommet, and I was so excited to get that album. You got the rapping Duke, the ha. Oh man, I loved all of that. Oh, now I have Notorious B.I.G. stuck in my head. Oh man, my grandma tin of fabric. I gotta find a place for this thing. It's getting in the way. Kilroy, Too Short has a show on Sirius Radio. Oh, excuse me. Too Short. I was so surprised how eclectic Too Short is. I respect people like Too Short, and also Timberland is like this too. They're into all kinds of music, stuff you would never think of. I respect people like that because you know me. I'm a hip hop aficionado, but I'm also into Norwegian death metal. During the pandemic, I got into Viking throat singing. Like I love thrashy. I'm a metalhead, so I'm into all kinds of different music and not just one. But I was so shocked when Too Short and I have the same taste in music. And the thing I like about Too Short too is that he goes around the country and finds people not just in California. Like he went to Memphis, he went to Atlanta, he went to Florida. I respect people like that. I don't know if this is not, it doesn't necessarily translate, but this is extremely shiny. Whatever this material was, this is the total score on this oopsie. So many are like that. Look at Ice-T and Snoop Dogg. Very true. Very true. A lot of musicians are into so many different types of music. I think you almost have to be to have that ear, I'm into all different. I grew up around a hillbilly who was into bluegrass. So I absolutely love bluegrass. I play bluegrass, It's kind of a genre that's kind of going by the wayside because people really do not play instruments, at least around me. Okay. Perfect. Thought I lost the arm for a second. Oh. Okay. I love this dress form because it has a swivel, it's lightweight, and I have packed a bunch of clothes on this thing, and it's not bowing or anything. Flavor Flav is trained in classical piano. I did not know that. I did not know that. The ear and the metal ear is what gets the musicians listen to many genres. I agree. Bluegrass is actually experiencing really good. It bothers me. It just bothers me that people don't play instruments anymore. I talk about it all the time. Even as a child, I was taught to play violin. I was given a violin as a child, but it taught me a skill, and it got me into all different types of music. And I feel like we don't give people the opportunity anymore to even have the choice. And I know the money isn't there like it used to be because they literally gave me a violin for free and let me carry it around and keep it and take it home and keep it during the summer and everything. So I know the money's not around like that. I actually watched a special. It was on the Spectrum channel, but they were talking about how they showed the guy who used to make all the instruments for LAUSD and how a lot of those instruments were made out of recycled material. It was extremely interesting to watch. But I guess people do not play instruments like that anymore. Even in my son's high school, I was looking it up, and like, unless you're in the band, they really don't have music as an elective anymore. And in my day, they had anything from like beginner all the way to band. But again, I'm a dinosaur who watches the original Magnum PI. So what do I know? All right. Do you think that's a good or a bad thing that we do not teach the arts anymore? I have a feeling I know what people are going to say. But is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. I think we should teach economics to everybody. Okay, let me get this. You are in the way. Let me see if I can fix this. I don't know if that's my era or the way that this is just made. Gordon Lightfoot. Oh, like when I went to see a classical guitarist, and she took me aside to talk music due to how I just didn't look like all the others. Being a metalhead at a classical concert, she played with Gordon Lightfoot. That's awesome. It's definitely bad. I agree. It's definitely bad. It's been proven that if you teach the arts, it improves grades everywhere else. I loved, man, in my instrument playing days, I would get up and run to school. Do you remember a show called Auto Man? No, I don't. But I'm gonna look it up because maybe if I see it, I might remember it. But I think it's kind of sad they don't teach the arts anymore. And even when I was in high school, the 1 year I didn't play sports, I took home ec, and they taught us how to actually, like, for real cook. They looked around, they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be single. Let me teach you guys how to cook. I can see it in your eyes, like, you guys are gonna be single. And they went out of there, like, this particular teacher, she went out of her way to teach us how to cook. And I don't know, still to this day, she gave me the beginning of a skill that, I still use to this very day. And she was much kinder than that math teacher that was like, you're going to use this every day for the rest of your life. And you're like, no, I'm not. Then you grow up and you're like, don't tell my math teacher they were kind of right. But I guess, well, that was back in the day when we had to think for ourselves. Now we have things that think for us. So we really don't have to do math like we used to, I guess. Now that I think about it. But I do all kinds of crazy algorithms and all kinds of like, well, I don't know. I think we really do have everything that thinks for us nowadays. And they should bring back the industrial arts too, aka shop class, because we pushed every high school kid into college for the past 50 years. There's a massive shortage of tradesmen. I agree. You really shouldn't judge kids, but you kind of should. Well, okay, Dose. Here's my beef. Okay, here's my biggest beef. When I go and I give somebody a 5, and they're like, okay, this is $4.45. I'm like, okay, I need my 55 cents. I know it's 55 cents. They have to look down to see. The machine has to tell them it's 55 cents. It bothers me that people can't do math anymore. I loved high school accounting classes. Literally the only math that ever made sense to me. You scientist, you janitor, you basketball, you homemaker. I took accounting in high school too. See, they cared. I don't know. It's weird because I was going through my son's elective thing for next year, and it's just weird how much they've cut back. They've cut back so much, and they can't even front with me because it's the same high school I went to. So they can't even be like, oh, they can't be like, oh, back in the day it was like this, because I was there back in the day. All right, let me get this pin in where I can sew around it. Perfect. It's just sad to see the state of affairs. And my son's school cannot keep a teacher to save their lives. They cannot keep teachers at all. And every year we get a new director of the program. We get a new this or that. It's crazy. All right. Oh man. Every night I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Then I lay down and I sleep terribly. They specifically train to only do what the register tells them to do. And a lot of the times the register automatically orders change from the bank. So you gotta give what it says. I'll give them that. Okay, I'll give them that. But there are certain cash registers where it's just old school style with a computer on it. I don't know. I'm good at math. It's one of the only things I'm good at. So I'm biased. Teachers should get paid like the NBA. I agree. If we paid teachers like we paid people in the NBA, we would have the best of the best of the best teaching our children. I agree, Dose. I agree. It would attract people who actually wanted to be there too. Or you would just have to have the qualifications to be there, because not everybody wants to be there. But it takes a different type of person to work with kids. Not everybody can work with kids. I work with special needs adults. I'm in the field, and not everybody's made up for that, It takes a special kind of person. And in my job, we run through all kinds of people because they think they can do the job, and then they find out what it really is, and they can't do it. And teachers should be able to discipline the kids too. What's pushing teachers away now and isn't the pay. They literally are getting beat up by the kids, and they can't do anything about it. It's so funny you would say that. I fell down this rabbit hole of watching kids fight their teachers on Twitter to the point where I got off of Twitter. Like, I ruined my algorithm watching those kinds of videos. I ruined my algorithm. Huh. It was one of those weird things where, and honestly, I didn't even want my kid to go to high school, because he's been homeschooled for a while and he does half and half now. And when he first started, I was like, I don't want you to go back. But really what it was is I was watching too many videos of people fighting their teachers, online. And I was like, there's no way I want my kid to go to school now. I'm sitting here waffling, so excited that I haven't even plugged in a sewing machine. But I have one right here. Ooh. All right, so we're going to see if the Bernina is up to the tasks for this. For some reason, this has an extremely short cord, and I think it's weird. For a sewing machine, this has an extremely short cord, but I don't think this is the original cord that came with the machine. If it is, it's a bad design. Because most sewing machine cords are long, and that's extremely short. Oh shit, you got more screens than the secret room at Diddy's house. I'm a I have as many computers and screens as I have sewing machines. I'm kidding. I don't have that many screens. This is my control room in here. And like I said earlier, over there I have a security camera. Like I do not play. I am not joking. You can't just walk up to my house without me seeing it. It's a 3-port machine and a portable that you plug in, all in an extension cord or table. I agree. You know what? I totally agree with you. It's just driving me crazy because I have all kinds of plugs in here, but it's just so rare to have something like look how the machine's over here and the cord's right here. That's extremely short. And plus those I like watching I'm addicted to watching hockey and baseball at the same time. That's so you don't drop it in the tub while you're sewing and bathing. You know what? I wish I was that efficient. I am not that efficient. I wish I could get two things done like that at the same time. It's built for the road. It is built for the road. Like most quilting guilds have a table. Oh, with the plugs at the top of the back. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about now. I just want to be a part of that one time. I want to walk in the room with all my patches into a quilting convention. Every sewing convention I've ever gone to, everybody has been so welcoming and so nice. Every time. But it's always in LA. But people are so welcoming. That's gonna be my next big adventure. I'm gonna go to a sewing convention out of state. Okay, sorry, I had to work through. This thing has a ton of thread guides, but it's for a reason because this machine is precision. Beautiful. I heard that they're having a hard time finding Diddy now. All they know is that he's still in the country, but they don't know where he is. He's hiding inside TD Jakes. I wouldn't be surprised if TD Jakes was an alien. If that's a skin suit, I would. If TD Jakes isn't a skin job, if he was a skin job, I would be shocked. I would not be shocked, actually. What's that, Joy? Let me see. Let me click on that. Oh, that's taking forever to load. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. I'm still mad to this day that I walked past one of those. I don't know what I was thinking. I still to this day have no idea why I walked past that. There were two of them. Back when I used to go to Ventura all the time, I still don't know why, but Ventura was selling sewing machines cheap. I am not scared to say I purchased over 70, probably 80 sewing machines just in Ventura. Just in Ventura. Because they were like 20 bucks, 25. I paid $25 for my 1950s semi-industrial Singer that's in the table. And the only reason I call it industrial is because it has a bigger neck. I have a sewing machine from that same exact year, and it has a smaller neck. Oh, is that coming out? It is. Wrong way. Ah, wrong way. That is the same one here. Free on a table. Oh, wow. That is cool. That's absolutely cool. I'm still mad I walked past that serger. Seen about 5 or 6 industrial machines for under 100. I definitely need one because I treat machines like they're industrial anyways. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, we're ready to go. Have a great night, Rashawn. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Insomniacs. I'm determined to at least put the arms on this. I guess all I needed was some coffee and donut holes. Perfect. All right. Have a great night. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. $20, I can buy a snack and a few and a or sell a sack. Oh, I was just having this conversation. At least where I live, $20 is not what it used to be. When I was when I was younger, if you got $20, man, you could go, you had options. And it seems like nowadays $20 can't even get you out the front door. Do you know how shocked I was when I went to the state of Nevada and gas wasn't $6? I was in utter and complete shock when every time I went to get gas, when I started getting closer and closer to Nevada, I noticed the price was dropping, but I really didn't pay attention until I got to Nevada and I was at like half a tank. And I gave the guy $60. And I was like, 60 on 5. And I went and filled my tank and I had like 20 something, $25 change. But in California, that exact like $60 would fill half my tank because gas is so high here. 20 is the new 5 for real though. It's just weird to me. It's the way of the world. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, why can't things stay the same? They never do. I wish they would, but they never do. So I get it, I'm not that naive, but it's weird to me how the value has changed. It's just not what it used to be. And my vacation showed that to me more than anything else because Vegas is a tourist trap and I drove outside of Vegas. Like I drove clear to Henderson and I was eating and imbibing in places that weren't necessarily in the city. It was cheaper than LA. It was way cheaper than Los Angeles. $60 will more than fill you up here unless you have a big truck. In my Ford Flex, $60 is like a little bit over half a tank. Oh, let's look at that one. $60 is a little bit over half a tank. It's because like they say gas is $5 here. No, man, it's like $6 where I live. Well, almost $6. Okay, hold on. I want a normal stitch on this. Oh, let's see. Perfect. Sorry, this thing is so computerized. I got to take this price tag off. This is insane. I paid $24 for this modern machine. This is a Bernina. I'm still kind of tripping out that I have this machine. I'm still kind of tripping out. And this thing, it sounds brand new, kind of. Oh, whoops. Absolutely, Joy. Absolutely. Oof. If you have a big truck, it'll get you like 3/4 of the way. It's insane. If I told you how much I paid to fill my truck I pay almost $200, but it has, 2 giant tanks. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get used to this machine, but it is perfect. It's got a computer, so it thinks before it responds. That's what kind of bothers me about my Flex. When I push down on the gas in my truck, it drives. When I push down the gas on my Flex, it's like, oh, okay, I feel like driving. Oh shit, I like that fabric. I need a West Coast OG flannel so I can button it up to the top. Do you know what's sad is I still dress like that. Do you know I didn't realize how much of a stereotype I was until I moved somewhere else. Because certain areas have very specific looks, and I didn't realize how much my area has a very specific look. All right, let's see what that did. Did that go through? Oh, this machine is just wow. Wow. Perfect. Now watch you treat that nice lady. Now watch you treat that nice lady of a machine like she's a gutter whore. You're gonna beat that machine up like the rest of them, which is why you need to buy an industrial. No, Will, you're lying. You do not look like Easy E. I still wear Dickies. It's a culture, and I do too. I do too. I've been cleaning out my closet, and I discovered an old pair of blue khakis, and I was like, "Where have you been?" I do too. I still wear Big Mac, which is like a wannabe Dickies. I still wear all different kinds. Matter of fact, I still have a Big Mac shirt that fits. I don't know if anyone remembers the Big Mac brand, but I still have a Big Mac shirt. Man, I'm really showing my age. And I have a bunch of Ben Davis too. The Ben Davis is an Easy E shirt. When I wear the Ben Davis, that is like extremely LA. All right. I should be here. I'm the same with those though. I still wear khakis. I have a question though. Did you ever wear Timberland boots? It was never a thing here. I always wanted a pair and I went and bought a pair. But I had a pair of Timbos. And I want to buy a pair of Doc Martens, but I don't know if my ankles can take it. Like breaking in a pair of Doc Martens is like breaking in a pair of cowboy boots. Oh, my. This is definitely a quilting machine. But it can take it. This thing can take going through all these crazy layers of fabric. And that's really what counts in the end. Is if this can take going through all of this fabric. I see one little mistake and that's it. Perfect. Perfect. Tim's and Carhartt jacket size. You know, because it's not, I don't live in a cold weather city, so people really don't rock Carhartt. I didn't realize the power of Carhartt until I moved to Oregon. And I showed up with a Carhartt jacket, and people were like, that's nice, that's nice. I had no idea. You know, I just picked it up along the way. I liked the way it looked, but I had no idea that's what everybody was wearing. I just like, I have a Columbia jacket. I just want, if it's quality, I really don't even care about the brand. I just want it to be able to keep me warm. Like my Columbia jacket, I'll do a commercial for that thing. But it kept me warm, you know, during the winter. Let me sort through this real quick. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Carhartt is a beast, very durable. That's what I look for. Like, I absolutely love wearing Chuck Taylors. That is my thing, but I rip through those shoes. They are not made for people like me. Oh, excuse me. You wouldn't know anything about triple fat goose coat. Okay, so in my defense, I know they exist, but I have but no, I would not know anything about but I know of their existence. Which kills my credibility even more. Oh, I'm a desert dweller. I'm a real life desert dweller. Like we it you know, I'm not, you think I'm joking. I get cold. Anything under anything under 60 degrees, I'm like, oh man, it's winter. If it's anything under 60. When it starts dipping in the 50s, I get my winter clothes out. Like even right now, it hasn't been hot lately and I'm panicking. Never had a pair of Chucks. I love canvas shoes. Vans, Chucks, all of them. Like the old school Airwalks, all of them. It's just I run through those things. I need a good sneaker. That reminds me, are my dad's shoes in here? It's barbecue season, so I had to bust out my New Balance. These are my real life dad shoes. I put fat laces in them to make them cool, and it did not make them cool. But I wear these when I'm barbecuing. That's how you know I'm serious. 60s, I'm free balling in that weather. I'm freezing. I am like literally shaking cold if it's anything under 60 degrees. Those shoes are letting everybody know that I know how to cook and to get out of my way. When I come walking up wearing those shoes to the grill, people part the Red Sea and they get out of my way. They're like, oh, this man is serious. He is here to cook. He is not playing. He has the dad shoes on. He's not smiling. He's got his tongs ready. I think it's because it was a tradition passed on. I take barbecuing very seriously. So I have my New Balance ready on standby. I have my ugly shoes ready for barbecuing. Those New Balance curled up like the Iron Sheik shoes. They're old, man. They're old and they're used. I've had those shoes for a long time, Dose. A long time. They're actually, I need to get new ones. They're actually famous. Like around people I know, when I come walking out with those on, they're like, uh-oh. And I'm one of those people, I do not share the grill. I cook alone. Oh, that's how you know I came to cook. Oh. And you know what? I had a talk the other day with a good friend of mine. How come they no longer make jean shorts? We need to bring jorts back. We need to bring jean shorts back. Somebody I absolutely respect came to me and they were like, hey, man, I can't find jean shorts anywhere. I was like, it's because we're in our 40s and we think that you can still just go buy those somewhere in a store and you can't. But they need to bring jean shorts back. Beautiful. I made a pork shoulder and a pork belly today. Oh, at my house, I have a barbecue directly in my backyard, and then I have a barbecue on my side yard. The side yard is when I like slow cook things because that thing will just sit there for hours and cook. Oh, now you're making me hungry. They got to go to the knees. No Daisy Dukes. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I felt for my friend too, because like he's like I'm in my 40s and he's just like I think he just hit 40 this year and he's going through that thing of like how come they don't make the stuff they used to back in the day. And I was there. I went through the same exact thing, but they do not sell jean shorts where I live anymore. And I'm sure they sell them I'm sure they sell them in other places, depending on where you live. I'm sure they sell them other places, but where I live, you cannot buy a pair of jean shorts. And I feel bad for all the old schoolers. All right, so let's see how this looks without a collar. You mean you don't want to rock those Stone Cold Steve Austin shorts? Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the toughest old school 90s dudes. He rocked. His jorts were painted on. Oh. All right, let's see how this arm came out. I pitched it kind of high. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, perfect. Oh, this is without the collar. I love the color. I can already tell it's perfect overcoat size. This is without the collar, but I love how this looks. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. That's crazy if it's not market or middle-aged men casual clothing. Oh, that's not. It's not a market for middle-aged. It's true. They do not have a market for middle-aged men. They don't. They're like they think we don't exist. Is what it is. If you go to Walmart now, the men's selection is embarrassing. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. It is. That's why I constantly gripe about how in Los Angeles County, the only place I can buy a pair of jeans is Walmart. I like that Larry on WKRP. Move over. I haven't decided how crazy I'm going to get with the collar yet. Oh. You know what? I'm loving these new vendors. I'm loving these San Fernando Valley vendors because they have these crazy prints. These absolute crazy carpet 1970s prints. This reminds me of a couch my grandma had. Thank you, Dose. Thank you. Thank you. I might, well, let me do a James Brown. I'm going to finish the cape. We're here. We might as well finish the coat. We're here. Let's go full collar. I think it's a weave, not a print. Absolutely, it's definitely a weave. It's I'm starting to be able to tell the difference, but the red coat I made, that is that's tweed, man. That's tweed. I start and my orange coat. Well, I know my orange one was tweed because I actually had the label. I put that thing on in the sun and my body was like, are you kidding me right now? I instantly started sweating. Instantly. Oh. Almost ate it on a cord, but we're still here. Okay. All right, let's see if I can find something long enough. This looks like a good contender. Here we go. This is the bigger piece, I think. I could be wrong. All right, let's make sure that I get because I have continuity right now, I'm going to try to get the collar going in the same direction. I'm actually surprised that my stripes lined up. Okay, carry on. I'm going to go do some sewing. See you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by, Joy. I'll be back. I will be back. Thank you so much for stopping by, as always. Yay, take care, take care. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. It's just a matter of measuring. Yay, yay. Plus, I really have not been sleeping at night at all. But I've been getting a lot of laundry done. Okay. I'm going to grab, where's my rotary tool? The collar usually doesn't take that long. I'm just making sure that I don't. Nice seeing, oh, that mint singer Patcher. Thank you for sharing. You know, I like that machine. Absolutely. Absolutely. I still say that, Dose. I can tell someone's age when they say like peace or I. Oh, I heard something snap on that. Oh, am I pushing too hard? Am I pushing too hard? Good grief. All right, so I'm going to straighten this out and see what it looks like. All right. That looks about even. I would love a scarf with that fabric. You know, I went through this really weird phase of making a bunch of scarves. That's when people came at me for the Kenty print. I love this print. It's, you know, there's a lot of like standard flannel prints. And so I'm constantly trying to look for the non-standard look. I will show you a standard. I absolutely love this red flannel look, but this is the most standard flannel that I could come. The red flannel and black and like the black and white flannel are the most used flannels I've ever seen. So when I find anything that's not that print, I jump at it. And I'm not even talking trash about it because I wear a ton of red flannels. That's Indiana Burberry. It's the same around here. That is everywhere. That print is everywhere. I have a Field and Stream one like that. I have one with the hood, without the hood. Oh, that flannel will get you beat up and oh, you can't. It is true though. There are certain neighborhoods that you can't go into wearing that. That is extremely true. Sorry, I had to, whoops. I had to concentrate for a second to cut that off. Now I gotta measure. Oh, I have to measure one more time. Okay, perfect. I'll go a little bit over. Like magic, we have a collar. Let's see. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to give it a little bit more of an angle and it's ready to sell. DJ, the Walmart men's selection is so damn basic nowadays. They even had selections in the damn. No, they had better selection in the Soviet Union. Jeans and Dixie, socks and underwear. That's it. That is the standard. That you know what's really funny? Walmart has like 4 or 5 plans as far as floor plans. I went to a Walmart in Reno, Nevada. It was so eerie. I walked into it. It was the exact same as the one by my house. They even had a Blimpies sandwich. That's how long ago this was. But it was eerie of how similar it was. I do love the printed t-shirts though. I got a lot of those. I had to, I won't even lie. The first time I saw Tupac at Walmart, I was like, what planet am I living on? But I eventually got over it. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Oh, I'm hitting the mic. Do you know what's funny? No matter how much space in here, it's never enough space. No matter how much room I give myself, where is my phone? All right, now that I'm doing the telephone cord shuffle. Yay! And Dose finally gets to see me finish a project. This is a record. Today is a record-breaking day today. I'm actually finishing a project. It's been a while. I made a full coat. Oh, that's perfect. All right, let me come across, pin all of this in place. That's better. Sorry, I'm having to wrestle this collar. It's always the last thing that gives you grief. I got all quiet because I was like, oh, did I cut it short? No, I cut it perfect. All right. Last pin. Perfect. All right. Make sure I got everything. All right. Let's sew this thing on. Awesome. I thought this group was a scam. I like talking. I like talking and waffling, talking about food and life. My show is me utterly and completely avoiding the trash can fire that is life right now. This show is literally my salute to Shaun of the Dead and minding your own business while the rest of the world is like just smoking crater. I quit wearing t-shirts when I was 15 years old, wife beaters with buttoned up. Since then, oh wow. Ugh. If you want to impress me, I need you to make a Ric Flair robe. I will crown you king. So let me go in my closet, actually. It's really funny you say that. I do need to buy an industrial because I truly believe the the furry material is what helps destroy my sewing machines because it gets. Oh, that's right. My other camera isn't. I wonder what happened to my other camera. Oh, there it is. For some reason, it told me it wasn't working. There you are, sewing machine cam. All right. So let's finally finish a project here in the house of sewing. In this house, we sew. Good times. Good times. It's been a long time since I've gone 3 hours by myself, so I'm going full Elvis tonight. Everybody should thank number one Kilroy for this one because I wouldn't have stuck her out. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. There's the pin cushion right where I need it. This machine is so much more whiz bang than my other one. This thing puts my other machine to shame. Perfect. Oh man. Oh man. Do you know what the funny thing is? Like, you don't realize how bad you had something until you get something that's newer or new. And like I destroyed my baby lock. And the funny thing is those things are kind of sold as indestructible sewing machines. Because they kind of are until it met me. Oh, don't mess up in the end. There we go. I will help you. Perfect. Wife beater with a button up is diabolical. I actually dress like that too, Dose. I actually dress just like that. I have a feeling Kilroy and I have the same style in a lot of ways. I dress just like that. Because I wear a lot of work shirts, a ton of button-up work shirts. It's not the furry material. It's because you keep on hauling freight trains with a damn Civic. I agree. With this coat, you almost need a station wagon. I drive a Ford Flex. Does that count? That's station wagon adjacent. I love that. I love that comment, Alibaba. You look like one in National Lampoon. Like one in National Lampoon. Do you know what's really funny? Is those actually sell for a lot of money now because people are buying those out of nostalgia. I blame counting cars because everybody knows the value of their car now. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so let me clean up a little here. Hey, those New Balance shoes would match the coat. be a little awkward wearing this in front of the grill. All right, let me clean up a little bit and I'll try this thing on. I will say though, my father was so dedicated, he would barbecue in the rain. Like, he did not care what time of year it was, what the weather was. He was going to turn his grill on. So I'm not against barbecuing with a coat on. Oh, man. All right, let me clean up this mess a little bit. Oh. All right. Perfect. Just a little bit. It's a mess in here. Wonder why I have just bags upon bags of fabric. So finally, after 3 hours and 16 minutes of me waffling, I have finished this coat. I see a mistake or two, but hey, if you're looking that close, you bought it. Oh, this is perfect. Look at this is perfect with the collar. Hold on, let's get a little bit closer. Oh, look at that collar. Love it. I love this. I'm gonna go hang out with Jack Tripper and Larry at the Regal Beagle. After this, I think I'm gonna go to the Regal Beagle and hang out with Larry. My shirt's not open enough, but I can find one. Oh, it's been a long time since, well, not a long time, but it's been a while. So fully finished project, start to finish. I really didn't think I was going to finish this code today. So everybody should thank Kilroy. 3 hours later. See, Dose? You see? We actually sew here in the House of Sewing. It's not just all talk. It's mainly talk. But there's a whole lot of sewing that goes on, too. Oh, I love this. I love this coat. I look like I'm WKRP in Cincinnati in this coat. Where is Larry? I'm gonna go to the Regal Beagle after this. Now you definitely need a wagon, an upper middle management job, a mid-price car, 3 kids, a grill, a dog, a beef with a neighbor, and a new house in a new subdivision. Comment of the evening. Comment of the evening. You look like your first day working for the Duck Dynasty. I would never work for those guys. They look way too preachy. I couldn't be preached to by a bunch of Muppets. They look like real life Muppets. I do have, in a weird way, a long time ago at a 99-cent store, I bought a Duck Dynasty video game. So I do have their Duck Dynasty video game. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like So Dynasty. I like that. You know what though? Because I'm, like everybody else, I have a healthy YouTube habit. And I've actually followed quite a few designer shows. They try to start up on the line. They don't last a year. There was this one guy who I actually met in person. He was a really nice guy, but he had a show on YouTube and they really hyped it up for like almost 8 months. His show didn't even last like 8 or 9 shows before he went from like 10,000 views to like 30. Oh, right. I'm definitely calling this one a victory. And tomorrow, when I'm taking pictures in front of my house, my neighbors are going to be like, where does he get all these coats? I have a neighbor who across the street, he was actually having a sale, a garage sale. And I kind of knew that he owned a printing shop, but I had no idea the extent of it. He was having a garage sale. He was selling everything, but I didn't need he had a mug maker, a button, like all kinds of things where I was like, man, do I really need another project in my life? It's impossible to make the leap from YouTube to regular TV or vice versa. It's two completely different styles of operation. I agree. It's the same as acting for TV or film or acting for the stage. No, I completely agree. I knew somebody who was a TV actor. They were kind of annoying because they were always on. They were always on. And I knew someone that was more Broadway and they were a real person. They just, they'd get their role and move on. Let's put a hat. This jacket needs a. I don't know why I always go full cowboy with these coats. In my mind, it's Wild Wild West, but it's way more like Larry from WKRP. Oh man, we went on a full tour this morning. We went around Jupiter and came back to Earth. And I said this earlier, and I want to say this for the record. On my signal's dying. There we go. The signal's getting better. Oh, I love the coat. I love this coat. All right. So my internet is getting terrible. Let's give it a second. Because my internet is just getting extremely choppy. The cowboy hat and coat, you look like you're on the show, Dallas. I love it. You could wear that for the next casting of Yellowstone. They film it like 2 or 3 towns over. It's the weirdest thing when I see, is it Sutton or Dutton Ranch? I see those trucks on the freeway. They're literally driving towards the set wherever they film that. They film that thing somewhere in the country out here where I live. JR Sewing. Oh, I'm taking that. I like that. JR Sewing. And I said this earlier on Rashawn's stream. I wore this hat before Beyonce. I'm just saying. And you know what? I have it as record because I've been wearing this hat for years on YouTube. I love this coat. This was a victory. I love the cheesy color. The arms came out absolute perfect. Do you know, I think I used the other arms because they're not as long. If you can see, they're not as long. I don't know what I did or why they're cut perfect this time. Maybe I'm just getting better at this, considering this is like the 150th coat I've made. I like that. JR Sewing. I like that. Oh. All right. I've been going for 3.5 hours. I think you're getting better. Thank you. These ones were spot on, and that never happens. The pattern matches too. See, I was trying. I was actually trying on this one because really it's just a matter of paying attention. And a lot of the time I was just letting it go and not caring. And so I would invert the patterns a lot of the time. This one was an utter and complete success. This coat is beautiful. I'm going to fix all the edges and everything you can't see from here. Front and back and arms pattern match. I was trying this time. See, but that's the beautiful thing about paying attention is that I was paying attention to what I did and it came out perfect. So I'll be back at it on Wednesday. This is why I'm here. I absolutely love this coat. I'll be back at it on Wednesday and we'll make something else. I want to thank everybody who made it here tonight. DJ Dose, Kilroy, Alibaba, thank you so much. Rashawn, Joy, everybody, Mona, anybody, Mo, anybody who stopped by tonight. I absolutely thank you. Butterfly, everybody. You guys are absolutely amazing. Hopefully my voice will be back on Wednesday. But we'll see if I don't say a word tomorrow. We'll see. I want to absolutely thank everybody. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself. But more important than anything else, take time out to remember to just be kind to yourself. Just be kind to yourself because life's too short to have internet beefs. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great evening. You sound like you're gonna sound like Tone Loc tomorrow. Now I have Funky Cole Medina stuck in my head. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great night. Like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely